Hey everyone, Coach Investor back with another Tesla weekly video for today. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend so far. So, again, pretty busy week for Tesla. We've got some numbers out of China, some pretty good numbers out of Europe as well. Comments from Elon Musk with regards to, well, Tesla's computing power. We're going to have a separate video for all of that because otherwise this video will be way too long, but I'm going to touch on a couple of comments already in this video. And then, of course, Elon meeting with the Indian Prime Minister, Modi, some promising comments there as well. So let's first start with the first news of the week, which was Rivian. Rivian will also adopt the North American charging standard, following, of course, Ford, GM, now Rivian, and of course, the list will just go on and on. It's just a matter of when, not if. So Rivian CEO said we prefer the Tesla connector, which is more compact, and we also see it as an opportunity to leverage the charging infrastructure that they built. Of course, people that have been following Tesla for years and years knew that this was the eventual outcome, and most of us think this won't just be stopping at offering them access to Tesla supercharger network. Maybe they'll get access to Tesla software and maybe even hardware in the future as well. Remains to be seen. Then up next, we had Elon Musk meeting with Indian Prime Minister Modi. So Tesla plans significant investment in India as soon as humanly possible. So there's a comment here from Elon Musk. I'm confident that Tesla will be in India and will do so as soon as humanly possible. We do not want to jump the gun on an announcement, but I think it's quite likely that there will be a significant investment, a relationship with India. And why wouldn't there be, right? The Indian economy is expected to grow very, very fast in the years to come. Its population is now larger than China as well. It's a more democratic country as well. Of course, when we talk about Tesla's investment in that country, I do think that they'll first start with the infrastructure, with the energy side of things, and then make their way towards more transportation, robotics, Starlink, he said as well, etc., etc. Modi is very, very focused into making India a world powerhouse and, of course, developing the opportunities, the economic opportunities there as well. Tesla, one of the companies that will definitely take advantage out of that. Now, Tesla has a problem. It's a luxury one because Tesla has been in talks with France, with Italy, Spain, Canada, Indonesia, we've heard, right? Mongolia. I mean, the list will go on and on. Everybody wants a piece of Tesla. We've talked about that last week as well. Of course, those videos will be in the top right corner. Now, of course, we will need many more gigafactories around the world, whether it's just a vehicle production or also megapack productions, because if you want to reach 20 million vehicles by the end of 2030 or by 2030, by the end of the decade, I should have said, then yes, we will need a bit more than what we have today. So having a bunch of countries lining up to ask you to come and build in their country is a nice problem to have. Now, with regards to Tesla's computing power, of course, they made a thread, a new Tesla AI account on Twitter. So they talk a bit about the, fact that Tesla is building the foundation models for autonomous robots, etc., etc. Again, I'll make a different video about that. These models will learn from a huge set of extremely diverse data from the Tesla fleet and will be trained on enormous amount of compute. And as you can see, that enormous amount of compute already today will just become much, much bigger just 1.5 years from now. Now, someone has asked Elon, so does Dojo come online next month? To which he already replied, it has been online and running useful tasks for a few months. He also said that Tesla's AI, both software and hardware, is far more advanced than even most experts realize. And then last thing with regards to NVIDIA, someone said no big deal, Tesla is just going to live with an NVIDIA competitor soon, to which he answered not exactly a competitor to NVIDIA as we aren't selling Dojo computers, although it could be sold as a service. We just need a crazy amount of training compute to get to full self-driving that is 10 times safer than human, but can't get enough GPUs, plus prices are extremely high. Now, with regards to NVIDIA, remember last earnings call, they talked about the fact that they're continuing to simultaneously make significant purchases of NVIDIA GPUs and also putting a lot of effort into Dojo, which they believe has the potential for an order of magnitude improvement in the cost of training. They also said that Dojo has the potential to become a sellable service that we would offer to other companies in the same way that Amazon Web Services offers its web services. And of course, Elon still said last earnings call that Dojo is kind of a long shot bet. But if that long shot bet pays off, it will pay off in a very, very big way. But potentially in a very, very big way, like in the multi-$100 billion level. So of course, pretty exciting times ahead. Now, if you're so far enjoying this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if not, would really appreciate that. And if you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to get the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Now, let's continue with the good news before jumping into China and Europe numbers. So we had the American Made Index for 2023, the ranking there. And guess what? Number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are basically Teslas. The others in the top 10 aren't even American companies. It's Honda, Volkswagen, and Acura. Then moving up to China, the weekly insured numbers, so 14,500 was the number there. And as you can see, we are continuing our trend towards a record quarter and maybe even a record year as well. So far, so good for everything coming out of China. Now, if you were ever interested to know where in China Tesla sells its car, Piloli got up a nice little graph here. If you want to pause and look at it even deeper, go do so. And last thing here with regards to China, which is pretty positive. So China extend new electric vehicle purchase tax breaks for another 4 years. So it will be from 2024 to 2027, but the intensity will diminish in steps. It says here that China will exempt the purchase tax on NEVs with a purchase date between January 1st, 2024 and December 31st, 2025, but the tax exemption will not exceed $4,170 per passenger vehicles. Then, for NEVs with a purchase date between January 1st, 2026 and December 31st, 2027, the vehicle purchase tax will be levied at half the normal rate, of which the tax reduction for each new energy passenger vehicle will not exceed 15,000 renminbi, which is basically half of what it was before. Then moving on to Europe. So, currently in these countries, Tesla has already sold more cars year to date than it did in a whole of last year. And of course, we will be getting more numbers as the month of June reaches its end. Now, remember last week we talked about Norway and the fact that Model Y might surpass Model 3 registrations there, that is. So on the 22nd of June, they were extremely close to overtaking the Model 3. And then as of Friday, June 23, Model Y has reached also 40,000 registrations in Norway. It also surpassed the Model 3 in total sales and is now the most sold Tesla model in the country. Then, looking at the European car sales by group in the first 5 months compared to last year, Tesla has the biggest growth in Europe. You can also see how Tesla has moved up 2 places in the ranking. And in terms of market share, there are 9 losers and only 6 winners. Tesla has clearly gained the most from 1.4 to 2.6%, so that's up 86% overall. Then when looking at the BEV share, it is growing in every European country. 6 countries are now above 25%. Norway, of course, still in a class by itself. And then for specifically Sweden, this week they achieved a new record quarter and there's still more than a week to go to improve the record and reach 5,000. And now last thing here with regards to the graph, basically this week is really in balance, so flat-ish. We went higher, we went lower, and now we're basically back to where we were at the start of the week, at the end of last week. This is on the weekly chart. Still RSI close to being overbought, but not there yet. On the daily, we're still overbought, by the way. So my prediction is still that the market will have a little period of its being maybe calming down, should I say. Then maybe we could see $240 again. There is a small gap there because overall the market has been going up quite fast recently, and it's not like we're not having any inflation anymore. We're still having high inflation. There's still high interest rates. There's still, well, many people are still projecting a recession. remains to be seen what happens, because currently I don't see any rate cuts happening anytime soon. And the longer the high interest rates environment stays, the higher the possibility will be of a long recession. Remains to be seen what happens, but overall, Tesla, strong companies will just become stronger when a recession ends. That's just what history tells us, and Tesla is perfectly positioned to deal with that. Again, Tesla has a problem, but it is a luxury one. Of course, do share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.